Hello, everyone, and welcome to All Indie. Today, I am super excited because today we have our first ever dev interview. I am here today with Taxicomics, right? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you're saying that correctly. Hi.
Perfect. Taxicomics is the dev of Ghostist. You've probably seen the gameplay video that I put out, or that will be coming out here pretty soon. So thank you so much, Taxicomics, for joining me here today. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
So first, tell me a little bit about yourself. You don't have to give any sort of like personal details, but I thought maybe like what's your favorite game? What was your first game? And the game that got you into game dev.
Okay, my name's Taxicomics, and I do have a real-life job that I try to avoid by making games. um, I've been making games for 15 years, so since I was a teen, and it's always been a hobby of mine, but I've never published anything. Well, not apart from like small Reddit spaces or something. I never published anything on Steam. And I've been into games that are like obscure or like crazy games. I really liked Minecraft when it first came out. I really remember what that felt like a whole new concept of what a game can be and how open it can be. And I still like the idea that Notch did that. And but there are also like smaller games that I love, really atmospheric games. Like I liked the first Mafia very much.
Oh wow, okay.
I liked well,
So
90s games made my childhood like fun. So most of the 90s games are something that are close to my heart.
oh nice, okay. So was one of those the ones that you were like, man, I kind of wanna like this is something I want to do as a hobby?
You mean like something that I wanted to have created myself?
Which one of those games inspired you to kind of get into game design?
I don't think there really was one game that made me make games, but I think it's probably the closest to it would be GTA San Andreas, because I had no idea about how to create a game, and I thought, well, it's achievable to do this on your own. But I was wrong. But it made me like start up my first game engine, my first project. And the first real project that I finished was a small Zelda-like, small role-playing game.
Oh, okay. What was it called? I'm gonna go look it up.
You won't find. Maybe you'll find it. Maybe it's still online. But it had a German title. What was it called? Seeking the Beast. It's not a German title at all. Seeking the Beast, which sounded very cold to 11-year-old me. Was about a guy who gets on a journey and finds a friend, then very briefly gets to know that person, and then loses that person to the beast, and your job is to hunt down the beast.
That sounds awesome. I will.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna have
wasn't
to...
though. It was a bad game, but it was my
Oh.
first step.
Oh, okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a starting point, right?
There isn't, and I would encourage everybody who wants to get into games to just finish a product. If it's bad and nobody's going to play it, at least you had fun making it.
That's very true. One of the first games I ever made was Asteroids. And
Asteroids?
yeah,
Like a clone of Asteroids?
yeah.
Nice.
I didn't ever publish it. I just like it was like a school project. And I remember being just not super impressed with it when I was done, but I was like, it works. Like it's asteroids. Like I don't know, I should feel some kind of accomplishment, like
Yeah. Did you use an engine, or did you code it yourself? What did you use?
I coded it myself. I did the whole thing in C++, I believe.
Wow. For a beginner's project, that's really advanced.
I
Steep learning curve.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So speaking of which, did you Did you use something like RPG Maker for Ghostist, or was it a mix of that and programming?
I used an engine called Godot. You probably know it. It's gotten pretty popular. I really like Godot because there's a lot of programming involved, and I'm a programmer at heart. I'm not an artist, and I love to be able to control everything via the code and not necessarily via menus.
Oh, okay.
So Ghost is a child of Godot.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So you said you're a coder at heart. Is that what you do for your real job, quote unquote? Real job's probably not the best term, but is that what you do as a profession?
It's not. It was back when I used to study. It was like I did my job at the university, just a small job for maybe rent or something. But after that, I quit my studies and learned something else entirely. So no, I don't code for a living. I just do it in my free time because I don't really like working in programming. Because if you don't code what you wanna create, it's pretty boring.
Oh my gosh. That that hits me on a very personal level. That's exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I was gonna say that's very relatable. It's exactly why I was in the same boat. I was studying like computer sciences for a while and was like, man, I love creating and you know, trying to make things, but this is definitely not my avenue. So I understand that.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
That makes me very happy to hear.
Yeah, so in Ghostist, so you said coding is kind of your primary go-to. So did you do everything yourself? The sound, the artwork, I'll even put in like writing. You did all of that yourself, or was there somebody who helped you?
In the beginning, I used ready-made assets, so stuff other people made. That's like Creative Commons licensed.
Oh, okay.
And then I substituted it with my own. So everything you see now is my own, except for the character that's still in Creative Commons character. But it will get substituted in one of the next updates.
Oh, okay.
And I had help with. Well, I reached out to friends who never made games before, but who I knew were like good recording artists or in general like good artists. And one of my friends is the recording artist for this, and he did all these voice acting stuff, like the ghost stuff. Lots of effects, like the breathing and all the scary stuff.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was if that stuff was pre-generated or if someone had acted that stuff out. That's really cool.
It's all acted out, and we're in very close contact. So he helps me with ideas. As you know, having ideas is like 10% of the journey, but it's very important to have the good ideas. So he's like the person I talk to think about game loops and stuff. Although he's not a game designer, he's very, very good at it.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Then there's another person who does the art, and it's actually a friend of mine who never did pixel art before. She played Animal Crossing, and when I watched her play, I noticed that she was very good at doing her own tiles, because in Animal Crossing you can do that. You can create your own like patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
And she got real good at it. And I thought it's basically pixel art, so why not ask her? And she started doing it, and she like looked through all the assets that I had and said, "Well, what do you need?" And then she created everything from scratch.
Oh wow!
Yes, it's a really good journey with like people that are new to game design, and they're doing a fine job, and it's very exciting to work together with them.
Wow! Hey, doing pixel art from scratch is not easy.
It's not at all.
That is, and same thing with the sound design. I was very impressed with all of the game. I think the sound design was creepy enough to set me on edge in this game. I think I said that in the first video.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was sitting in my office wearing my headset, and so like every time a door opened or closed, I would just jump a little bit. So good job on the sound design.
Thank you very much, and I'll reach out to my sound designer and tell him about it.
Let him
I also think it's great.
Let him know. So I guess since you had some help, was there something in coding this game that was particularly challenging?
I think probably it's something that has to do with game design. I'm okay at coding, I think, but I think a lot of the code design affects the game design. In this game, making the ghosts scary is the most important thing, obviously. But if they feel stiff, like if you know what they're going to do or why they're doing what, and if you like notice the triggers, then the illusion breaks. And I'm always working on keeping up that illusion. So don't let the code design interfere with the game design too much.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
let it feel. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so it sounds like you focused a lot on maybe I don't know that making the ghosts like random is the best term, but making them unpredictable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think there's still a lot of work to do because I still want to change so much, but like getting the feeling of always when you're about to understand what the ghost might be doing, make it do something that you didn't predict. That's something I want to achieve in the next updates.
Sure. Okay. Is there, I guess since we're on the next update, is there other features that you're going to be implementing? I'm curious. Is there like a multiplayer or what are the plans for the future?
The game will stay focused on the single player experience. It's like the wacky fun of hunting ghosts. Of course, it's a little scary, but after 20 hunts, you kind of get the feel for what ghost you might be dealing with. And after that, it should feel fun and wacky to interact with them. And I'm going to add to that by implementing a new mechanic. In the next update, maybe it's already out when this video comes out, I don't know. You're going to be able to like hunt the ghost. Of course, the ghost is hunting you in the beginning, but you're supposed to hunt the ghost, like eradicate it.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was having a walk and a talk with the sound designer for this game just this evening, and we discussed what this could look like. And we came up with something that I think will be fun. We'll find out, and maybe we'll do a checkup then, but yeah, that's basically the next big thing. And after that, there will be like more customization options, but that's on a lower priority at the moment.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So
more late game content.
Sure. So you're thinking more offense. Right now, it's sort of more of a discover type of interaction with the ghosts. Now you're thinking of actually purging them from the places you go.
Yeah, purging. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay.
Exactly, because in these ghost hunting games, it's always like in the beginning, it's very scary, but then after some jobs, you kind of get to know how everything works, and it gets less scary just because you already know what to expect.
Sure.
And there needs to be content for that. And so far, there's nothing here. So it's just, it gets boring after a while because there's nothing new. You always hunt the same ghosts, and you just like progress through the items, progress through the bases, but nothing else. And this is the new thing that's supposed to involve risk, supposed to involve like skill-based gameplay, and supposed to involve fun.
Right. So, okay, I think we've talked maybe technical aspects of the game
Yes.
enough. Fun. I think maybe a fun question is due. Has your family played the game?
That is a fun question. My parents, I showed it to them, and they're not big gamers. You must know, in Germany, like computers are still like at a very, very young age. Like some people are just getting into computers. Is what it feels like. Most stuff still happens on paper, and for my parents especially, that's true. And they have never played any games except maybe solitaire or something.
Oh wow,
So
okay.
getting them to play this game was hard enough, and they didn't really know what to do because they don't know about so many gaming conventions that you and me maybe wouldn't even have to think twice about. And it was
Sure.
very, very insightful to watch them play because they asked, "What's this? Why are you moving with these keys?" And uh, what is the mouse for? And so much stuff that you just know as a gamer is
Right.
something that they do not know. So it was fun and insightful.
Yeah, I some of the best playtesters are the people that never play games, right?
Yes, yes. They discover so many bugs.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, you know, if they can if someone like that can figure out how to play your game and kind of go through it, then you know, well, just about anybody can, right? So
Yeah,
it's always nice to
yeah,
have that kind of information too, just because, yeah, they find
yeah.
they can break your games in ways that maybe people who are used to playing games never find out.
Yes. And
S-
already we have the tutorial right here, right?
yes,
And it's so much text, it's much too long, and I hate it. But this, at the moment, I haven't thought of any other way to like teach the player how to play the game. I still like regard it as a placeholder for a better tutorial, but there's like so much stuff that I need to teach the player. And with the upcoming ghost hunting, there will be even more. So it really is difficult to balance the teaching aspect in tutorials, but that's a whole other topic. Sorry, didn't mean to
no, that's perfectly
stray
fine.
away.
No, that's perfectly fine. I was gonna say if you see anything in the video that you want to talk about, feel free.
I will.
I I'm kind of I'm in the same boat as you are. Like I completely agree that um while the tutorial felt maybe like clunky is maybe a little long is probably the
Yeah,
right word.
yeah,
It's completely necessary, right? It's
absolutely.
100% necessary for me to go through these steps because you can't just like drop me off in my apartment and be like, pick a job, good luck, you might die,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that's not really an option. So
yeah. Would be frustrating. You just go into the game knowing nothing. And I want it to be playful. I want you to get creative in your methods, but I can't just let you die.
right. Because there is a fine line between having fun and being frustrated at an experience. So, and
Yes.
I think you've created a fun experience here. Like I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
the game. Um, I completely enjoyed the game. It definitely, I probably should not have been playing it with my headphones on at like midnight last night. I, I don't know about you. I don't like horror. I don't handle horror very well. So like even like some of the sounds in this game, like the breathing and the footsteps, I'd have to like, I would have to just pause for a minute and like go do something else. So, I mean, do you like horror movies? Is there a
I can't
movie?
stand them. It's the same for me. So it's a fun experience to like create a horror experience for other people because I can't watch those movies.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And it's fun to create such an experience. So I obviously rely heavily on tropes of horror games, like
Sure.
flashing the ghost or making it whisper in your ear, or like make it more active when you're calm, something.
Right. And the
But
lights flickering.
lights flickering, yes, and doors closing behind you. This is my favorite part of the game, I think. when a ghost like really wants you to leave or something and then closes the doors behind you. I love that.
Yeah,
Such a simple thing, but it's effective.
it is very effective. So, okay, well now I have to ask, does your own game like scare you? Like some of the new updates, are they even as the dev of the game, like are you sometimes creeped out by your own game?
Well, I'm never creeped out because I always know what's going on in the background. I know where the triggers are. There are no traditional triggers here, but I know what triggers the ghost. And I always know what to expect, but I try to keep things random. So sometimes the random activity like startles me. Suddenly getting attacked when I was about to like go through the ghosts and the ghost identification chart or something, that still startles me. So I wouldn't say scared, but sometimes it shakes me a little.
Okay, that's fair. I imagine it's hard to be scared at a game where you practically know what's gonna happen and when.
Yeah.
So
but if it's possible to get that back, that would be the best. So I still have fun playing the game. I think very important. I never had fun playing games that I made before. So sometimes I just fire it up for like bug testing purposes, but mainly just to have a good time and just play it myself. And it's still fun to me. And I think that's, if you notice that about a game that you made yourself, that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's the most important part, right?
Yeah, but it's hard.
Yeah. Okay, so I think one more fun question, and then I think you've answered just about all my questions. If you had, let's say, like a team, a studio, and like a never-ending budget, like what would you do to this game? Like, where would you go with it? How would you continue down the path?
Wow, that's a fun question. I really like the retro aesthetics, and I think I would lean more into the direction of making it feel even more retro, like getting an artist to really, really make it feel like an old game, maybe even with like CRT effects or something. Then I would have a ton of sounds and like maybe even some sound generation or something, that you have real random stuff happening in the game. And I would maybe make people play it that are easily scared. Like people that I know, just to see what they would react like and make fun videos about that.
Okay.
I really like the community aspect of early access games. I really like that people made videos about my game, and I really liked watching them, not just to like bug test or to spot gameplay decisions or something, but just to see them get creative or tell me about their ideas. I really like that aspect. So if I had all the money in the world and so many people on my team just to help me with any ideas, I would make them look for people to play the game and share their experiences.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. So I think maybe one more question, just because I'm curious. Is it difficult to publish a game with Steam? Like, what's that experience been like? Because I've never gone through that process. I don't know anybody that's gone through that process, so I think...
I always thought it was impossible, because a few years ago it was not impossible, but you had to greenlight. There was Steam Greenlight. That was the thing where you had to like generate interest, and it wasn't really about how good a game you could make. It was about how good you are at marketing. And while that's still true, you can publish a game with basically no marketing. Like if you just want to get your game there to like play it remotely or something, you in theory could. And I think that's a good thing. The whole process in general is like a little labor intensive. You have to manage, of course, taxes. That's very annoying, but it's not too bad. You have to manage the whole process of getting the game on Steam's service, which has just been tweaked. It's gotten a little better, but it's still pretty difficult. So if you, not talking about you, but maybe the viewer, are thinking about publishing a game, maybe talk to people who've done it before and maybe get help with marketing, like creating all the assets for the store. Get people to do the copyright stuff for you, and all those tiny things that you never think about, they really add up. So a lot of hours have gone just into setting this whole thing up. But it's absolutely possible for everybody to publish a game there.
Oh, wow, okay. I honestly thought that I don't know, for some reason in my head, I think maybe just because it's Steam, I thought the process was maybe more difficult. It sounds like it has its own, its own beasts, its own problems, but it sounds like, if I wanted to, I could publish a game too.
You could. There's a review process, so you're really dealing with humans, which feels nice. I'm also a musician, and I have published things on Spotify and stuff, and that's just like paying, and then a robot gets your stuff out there. But on Steam, it's a different thing. You're still paying upfront, but there's somebody looking at your game. Does it work? Is it the same as the screenshots? Is saving and loading possible and stuff?
Sure.
And you really get feedback if something is not working from a human being, and that feels nice, I must admit.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds nice. I was gonna say, there are definitely some automated processes out there where you're like, okay, can somebody just like talk to me? Like, I just need feedback.
Yeah, on the internet it's all like automated stuff, and you always tend to ask yourself, why are they still getting paid? There's nobody doing the work here. It's just like an algorithm that I could have created myself, but just didn't. And now I have to pay a lot of money just for that algorithm to handle all my stuff.
Sure.
So Steam feels much better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I am out of questions. You have been a very awesome interviewee. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. I really like the questions that you picked. So thank you for interviewing me so nicely.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not trying to. This isn't like gotcha journalism or anything like that. I'm just genuinely curious about you and your game. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Listen, when did Ghostist come out? Was it March?
March 2nd.
Yes. So Ghostist is out on Steam now. I will leave a link in the description of this video. Thank you so much, Taxicomics. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.